Hello. A pleasure to have you one more time on the program. We also on this program referred to as the Polity, and of course the station still remains KAFTAN Television. Thank you for being there. We're here now to ensure that we'll roll on from now till the end of it. I am Okechukwu Onubogu. Well, I've got guests on the program today, and what we'll discuss this day has to do with emergency management. Emergency management. Then there is a rider there that says Nigeria's hard nut to crack. It seems to be emergency management has become a hard nut for Nigeria to crack. And I want to talk about it and see how it goes. And I've got two persons with whom to discuss this day. The first is someone that is involved in actual fact, she is, let me use the word, she is an inventor. And so she has just invented something that is known as Quest Ride. And apart from that, there is something else about the Quest again, which we'll explain. Because why I'm saying this is that this fellow, because of compassion and passion for the life of human beings, decided that something better can come out of all these emergency situations. And so she got to have a two-edged sword she came up with. One has to do with the phoning and all that, and the other one has to do with the movement, you know. So we'll talk about that today because we're discussing emergency response. All she's done is to help in seeing that there is emergency response happening in the land. Incidentally, she originally is not a Nigerian, but she's here and helping Nigeria for the sake of love for the nation. And then I'll ask you, how much do you love your nation? I'm talking about Cherry Mohammed. She is the inventor, as I said, of Quest Ride. Good to have you on the program today.
Good to be here.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll be talking about this, as I said. Nigeria's hard not to crack. How hard has it been for our country, talking about handling this thing that has to do with this emergency response? We see when someone, after we had just not too long ago, a colleague of ours, I mean a broadcaster, that passed on as a result of something that happened on an emergency note. Amber came to their place and to their estate, and then we were told she jumped off the building from the third story to the cemented floor. So he would, the life would not expect that something would not have happened. And she still was alive after jumping down, but she was injured. But because of the fact that there was no response, as a result of that, the response came quite late, and at the end of the day, she passed on. That's one. We've also just heard about someone, okay, even before then, there was still, before this other one I wanted to mention, there's also another one, the case of the young man that is a world boxing champion that has Nigerian blood in him. And he was involved in an accident on the road, on the expressway, and at the end of the day, he lost two of his associates and friends who have been helping him while doing the work. And thank God he is alive. But then, what about the ones that had been lost? Something better would have happened, that there wouldn't have been any need for this loss of life in the first place. Again, we just heard not long ago about a young lady who also passed away as a result of being bitten by a snake. And she even took herself to the hospital. But again, emergency management failed the nation, and this young lady died. Moving from one hospital, getting back home, looking for kind of, because his neighbor could not, her neighbor could not carry her to the hospital because I don't know whether it's fear problem or what. She had to call, and some people came, you know, to pick her. By the time they got to the hospital, she died, and all that. It's so painful. That's why I said I brought this lady, because there are things she's got that will help us. And this is part of what we want to discuss on the program today. And she's not alone anyway. Someone else came, and that is Boniface Abon. Boniface Abon is part of it. We'll still talk about that. Boniface, welcome.
Thank you.
All right, right. We'll get to talk about this emergency management problem. Sherry?
Yes,
This emergency management problem in Nigeria,
absolutely.
what do you think about it, and what can be done?
Well, it's not a good thing. Me being from America, we had what's called 911. It's a 911 system where citizens can just pick up their phone and call and dial 911, and the police are there, the fire trucks are there, the ambulance, whatever the case may be. But there's a system in place where if something happened, there's a fire, there's some type of natural disaster, whatever the case may be, there's a resource that people can dial and feel some type of relief, know that some type of help is coming. When I got here to Nigeria, I asked someone what was the number for the emergency response system here. And they looked at me like I was crazy, literally. And they said that there wasn't anything like that in place that they knew of. And I really couldn't believe it. With there being, how many million people here? In, I think 350,
200.
a lot of people here in Nigeria. And Nigeria is just as busy, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle just as much as in America. In New York City or LA, there's a lot of, there's, you know what I'm saying, people going to work, people going to visit family, people going to weddings, high school proms, and there should be something in place. I just didn't understand, but so I started to research it. With me being an engineer, I thought to myself, well, what can I do to at least try to help, try to figure out something so I can be of some type of help in some kind of way. So my partners and I got together, and we came up with a system called, it's the SOS Guardian system. And what it is it's an subscription-based app that people can download on their phones. Anybody, it's going to be affordable for any and everybody to be able to have. Once you download it on your phone, it's there. So if something happened, there's an accident, fire, flood, natural disaster, they have this app on their phone, they press it, and it sends a signal or an alert to the authorities. Well, actually, it's going to go to our call center, our dispatch center. They're going to determine if it's an actual emergency. So they're going to ask them like 3 qualifying questions. And then if they determine that there is an actual emergency, we'll assist with dispatching or getting in contact with either the police, the fire department, ambulance, whatever the case may be. So it's a step towards having some type of, it's not going to solve everything, you know what I'm saying, but
It'll go a long way in reducing the problem.
It'll close the gap. The gap is just too big. It'll help close that gap. So that's what I'm hoping, that's what our vision is. That's what my vision is.
Okay, and just as you said, that there's an app, and the fellow people will need to download into their systems and the handsets, and that way they will be able to make use of it. And when they do, when they call you, there's something spectacular about this. You now take it upon yourself to get the police, the fire service, and the ambulance involved. You know, you take it upon yourself to call them and get them to be aware of what has happened somewhere, and make them, at least to enable them to start moving towards that place.
Correct, correct. Yes.
This is something that should have, something in Nigeria should have taken care of, like just as 911 has taken care of it in America and some other developed places. But here, I think they were saying something about 112 or something like that.
Yeah,
which I've never seen.
112, yeah.
112. Let me ask you, Boniface, have you ever seen that 112 work?
No, I have not seen it. It's not working. Yeah, I've just heard about it, but have not used it. And I don't think it's working.
I will also ask you, have you seen anyone who has ever used it in the first place?
No, not at all.
And we are here talking about the fact that we want our nation to be beautiful. And this was created by someone who had maybe a good mind thinking about, oh, in case of emergency, this is what we'll do. But that line seems to be, in actual fact, moribund, non-existent.
Not
yes, because in actual fact, if not for the fact that we started talking about these things and I started hearing, I had always known that I would just think of one 911 and never the other one. No mind it have been here all these years, you know. So there are things that the way when they come, it's a pain. Now there are aspects of the story that I want to share. I want to make it open and ask you what you tend to do. Okay, let me ask Boniface to make an input, then we'll return to you.
Okay.
What our interests and intentions are very clear to make sure that we have our emergency system working in Nigeria. And how are we going to do about it is bringing out this solution, which is this SOS for the public. And it's simple. Once you have an emergency, just press the button. Once you press the button, we'll get the message from the back end. Okay, your location and everything will show correctly. It's going to be a nationwide something. What we are trying to do is make sure that we partner with the government authority, like for example, the road safety, the police, the some primary health care, governmental agencies like that, yes, hospitals, to make sure we partner with them so that once emergencies arise, it's not going to be something of once we rush a patient to the hospital, they should be able to attend with that person immediately. So that is what we are putting on ground. And we believe that with that, it's going to go a very long way.
And apart from time, with effective awareness created.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes,
and it has to be a group effort.
Yes.
You know, the hospitals have to work together. The police, we all have to work together on this. And I had thought, you know, why hasn't this concept been thought of by someone before?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's politics. I don't know if it's
naivety.
if it's something with the government. I don't know, but I know I cannot be the first person who's tried to come up with the solution. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure it runs deep, whatever the reason is. I don't know if it's a mental thing with the
it's just, we believe, personally, I'm in Nigeria. I believe that it's just awareness and lack of government effort towards some of these things, because it's simple. It's just for government to make those policies available. The funding, the policy, make it, and you know, it's not as difficult as it looks.
Okay. Now, can we talk more about it? What you have? You know, there are two things. This phoning thing, it happens. You say someone has to get to have an app in the system, and then the rest will work out for such a person. As we have seen, when people watch movies and you see such things, you know, American movies and other Canadian movies and all that, You see, something's happened, they just call 911. Before you know it, they have arrived and they've taken the person.
Yeah.
And for us here in Nigeria, it will look as though it's just film. We've not really experienced it.
Yeah.
Oh, call the doctor, call the doctor. And it's just not the person that has a doctor that is even there that he will call.
That is why the SOS we're going to help the citizen. And we believe that government will see reason why they have to partner with us and work with us too.
And funding is so important.
It's not
funding. The funding.
The funding. Make sure, because we're going to be needed ambulance in some locations. Then the police also have to be there. We're trying to see how we can collaborate with police and all those agencies to make sure that we embrace all of us together. So it's something we believe that when government puts support, we're going to go a long way.
So as we're saying, there are other aspects of this same story, because that's one. There is also the other thing that we discussed earlier, or maybe we can leave it for a little longer. But then, how far have you gone with this? Is it the app thing? Is it ready for people to start downloading, or about when do you think it will be ready?
Still working on it.
Because we need to talk about that. And if it's still a work in progress, would it be for how long before we start seeing this? Because there is need to have them all around us. And so there's need to have this app and let it work for us. So how long do you think it would take to get it done?
Well, our developers are working on it. And we'd say probably within the next, probably 4 to 6 months, the app should be ready. But it's more complicated than just having an app. Because it's going to take a group effort. It's going to take everybody to be on the same page. You know, just because it's my vision doesn't mean it's somebody else's vision to help. And if it hasn't been done before, there's a reason. So I'm hoping that it won't be as complicated as it seems, but I know we're going to need funding, that's for sure. We're going to need the collaboration of the government, the police, the hospitals. It's going to be a group effort, but you know, the Nigerian people have to want this. So we're going to need help. It's nothing that I can do by myself, Bonnie can do by herself, my whole company. It's something it's going to take just a group effort of everybody. And what made me really, really embark on this vision was when you mentioned the lady, your colleague, in Kantape. She was a young, beautiful black female, and you would have thought she lived in a secure environment. And somehow these bandits were able to rob the whole apartment complex. And I guess when they got to hers, she jumped or she was thrown. I don't know, you know, what actually happened, but she ended up on the ground. And she was critically wounded. So no police arrived, no ambulance arrived. She laid there, from what I was told, for over hours, critically wounded. Not just hurt, critically wounded. And the police, when they were asked to take her to the hospital, I couldn't believe this when I heard it, but they couldn't take her because they had no fuel.
Fuel in their vehicle.
No fuel. And I said, what if that was me? You know, I'm from America. Is this something I have to worry about? You know, and it really kind of put some fear in me, because in America that it's not common to have bandits. We don't have that type of thing. There's robberies and things like that, but nothing as commonplace as it is here in Nigeria. And then I also thought, well, what if that was my daughter laying there critically wounded? What if it was your family member, your mom, your sister?
Mm.
How would that make you feel? So we need some type of systematic process, and it's not a luxury. You know, it's a form of basic governance, and we need this, and you know, we can do it. Even if we start just with the basics, just start small.
Yes.
You know, we can do it, I believe.
Then again, we look and see that just as life is, there are things that happen. Not long ago, here on this program, here in this station, I had another guest with whom we discussed shared responsibility, and it has to do with some of the things we're talking about today. There was a professor that came in here, was with me, and we discussed a lot of these things, talking about restorative justice in labor and employment and all that, and talking about shared responsibility. Today, it's still shared responsibility that we're bringing up on the program. And in his own case, in their own case, they were really thinking about people who would be on the road and maybe do some services, and at the end of the day, they may have problem, and if the problem arises, who helps, whose responsibility it is. And they tried to get the Ministry of Labor and Productivity into it. They also got not just the labor and productivity, they got other ministries too that were kind of linked to this sort of thing, and got them to talk, and even got the police, yes, the police and others. I think this is about the right time for all these things to happen, because that one I just handled it this week, at the beginning of the week, and this is the one coming at the end of the week, you know. So it shows that there is need for these things to be effectively coordinated.
Absolutely.
Because it shows that there are the lapses that have been there all the while have grown so wide and big that we need to start handling them, start talking about them, start discussing them, and so as to find solution, because the solution is there. It's just being prepared for it.
Absolutely.
Just as you said, there is need for government involvement in this. There is strong need for government involvement in this. I would want to ask, I don't know how much you've done in the case of maybe seeking government attention over this matter.
No, for now we will not be able to do anything like that, because we just wanted the app to be ready, so that once we present it, we see how functionable it is before we begin to approach the government. And we believe that we're going to approach the government, but until when the app is fully completed.
Okay, we'll still talk about all that, but I just want to say that it's important that whatever should be done to help in saving lives must be done.
Absolutely.
Because nothing is more important than life. When life is gone, everything is gone. It's only someone that's alive that gets to have all these, if you like, pleasures of life in the first place. But we will still talk about them. Now, that is one. There is the second thing we also have, because we're talking about all these emergency things. There is also the other one. If someone may be in a vehicle and has the problem of maybe being kidnapped or something like that, is it the same app that they will call and the difference will be, and help will be on the way? Is it the same app? I think there's one that we talked about some time ago in the other program, when someone may be in a vehicle and being kidnapped or may have problems. How do you help?
Okay, that one is a different. That one we have a ride shared app. That one is embedded on the ride shared app with Quest Ride.
Okay.
Once you have that app on your phone, you have access to that. That is free of charge.
Okay, that's why I said it's a two-plunged affair that we have.
It's a dual layer ecosystem.
Those ones are for riders and drivers.
Okay.
Yeah, as
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
And it's for free, as you say.
It's for free once you download
Yes,
the app. You have the
okay.
app on your phone. It's just for you to press a button in case you have any emergency. Yeah, it's just for you to press the
button.
Yeah, the SOS
Yes.
button. Once you press it, the message is being sent directly.
Okay.
We'll get it from the back end there. It's for us to trace where you are immediately and send the response team.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to clarify, it's a rideshare app called Quest Rides, and it's a Nigerian-based rideshare app.
Okay.
The app, as Bonnie mentioned, we have what's called a panic button that's embedded inside of our app. It's embedded. There's a SOS panic button for the riders and the drivers, because the drivers face just as much challenges as the riders.
Yes.
So, so we're trying to make our rideshare app. It's again a rideshare app similar to Uber, similar to Bolt, InDrive, except it's Nigerian based. And with Quest Rides, we plan to partner with the union, with the rideshare union here in the Federal Capital Territory. Yeah, we're partnering with them because the rideshare drivers, they're going through it. They are going through it with these foreign-based rideshare companies. They are really going through it. And matter of fact, there was just a big strike.
Yes, there's a strike. I don't know whether it's over now, but there's been a strike.
A 3-day strike.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 days
3-day
strike.
strike.
Okay. And what's really the purpose for that strike? Can we talk about that?
Yeah, it is according to the drivers overcharge from the app.
Overcharge.
Yeah, overcharge.
The commission they're taking is too
much. That is why they go for the strike. That's why we are bringing a solution for them. That a request is offering only 5%. Quest only take only 5% commission.
5%. Well, we're gonna 5% to start, but it's gonna go up eventually because we're, you know, we have to.
You have an idea of what they
Expenses.
do with these other ones that are here now? You have an idea of the kind of percentage they've been getting?
Yeah, it's not going to be nothing compared to what they're charging. I believe Uber's charging 25%. Bolt is like 15 to 20%. InDrive, they say they have this bidding process where they come in at a low number and the riders are able to take that number down, bid down, and the riders, the drivers, they're just furious about the whole situation. So with this strike, I guess Bolt blocked and deactivated a lot of the drivers' accounts. And yeah, we're just here. That's why Quest is here. We're here to help our brothers and sisters.
Yes, okay. Looking at that, look at the transport system thing. You see, it's as a result of something that is near to emergency that all these things were created in the first place. In actual fact, it is for emergency, and not just only for comfort, because someone is at point A and wants to get to at point B, and he doesn't have the means of getting over, just makes the call, and the fellow will be told in 5 minutes someone will be with you, and okay, so he'll wait. And in 5 minutes, someone comes and picks him, takes him there. So it's a kind of emergency still.
Well, that's the idea. That's the vision that we have. In all reality, it may not be that easy. Someone may not arrive in 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yes.
But there's something in place. You know, you had mentioned earlier about kidnappings. I guess that's another thing that's popular here in Nigeria is kidnappings. If you're in the car and you're getting kidnapped, or you fear for your life, or some type of danger.
Kind of one chance.
Yes. One chance thing that we all know in the country today, and everyone's afraid of it. The one chance
It's
system.
easy for you to not press the button.
Yes.
And
It'll alert, it'll send a signal, and it'll send a GPS. So we'll know on the back end the location. So it's something that people can I'm not sure how to explain it, but it's some type of resource,
Yes,
rather
it
than
is.
just there not being anything in place at all.
It helps. It still helps the person that practices it in the first place, the rider, the person driving it, because he gets to have something to take care of his family.
Right.
Yes, and the person that is the fellow that has booked also gets to be helped to achieve his goal or higher goal, as the case may be, of getting to the point he or she needs to get to in desired time.
Right.
So it's a good thing still. Looking at both, you see that as a people, we also think about security. Sometimes the fellows are not even so sure of what they are doing, because I remember that other one we discussed with the other fellows that I mentioned.
Joshua Anthony?
No, another ride here. Another fellow, he was doing, I think it was the Uber thing he was doing for. And someone took him, someone called him, and he was wasting his time. At the stage, he said, no, I needed to start going.
Okay.
And as he was going, the young man shot him and gave him serious injury. But he lost one eye as a result of that. But God helped him that he still drove and went home, you know, and went for treatment. So you see, there is danger even on the path of the ones who are the drivers themselves. They need to be protected.
Absolutely.
They need effective protection. And I guess I heard, I think that's one of the reasons also for which they went on that strike, because they said our lives are not even insured in any shape or form, are assured in any shape or form, as far as these services are concerned. Yet you're just after the money you want. I want to find out. I hope Quest will be able to do a kind of life assurance thing for those who will be involved, because it will go a long way in helping to see whoever is involved, if there's a problem, that there is some help that will come from the source.
Absolutely. That is exactly what we are putting in place, especially for the drivers. So most of the drivers have driving is part of is a career for them. So we are putting in place life insurance. But then once you on board in Quest, you have
your life assurance.
If you're a full-time driver, full-time
yes,
driver.
you have that policy with us. So
Yes, for those who are the full-time drivers on Quest will have life assurance program.
And also that, what you were talking about, that SOS is also a way to go.
Yes.
You understand? Once you are using the app, you don't have anything to be panic about. So you have to drive. Once you are driving, you are sure that if anything happens, it's just for you to press the button and you get your response immediately.
Okay. Well, we're still on, and the program still remains the polity, and we're looking at emergency management today on the program. We'll just observe a break. We'll return to continue.
back in Abuja.
The main agenda here is the promotion of made in Nigeria products.
Could this trigger the much needed change in the telecom industry for better service delivery?
Welcome to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja.
A golden opportunity for the country to showcase its potentials among Committee of Nations. Now, here comes the body, accompanied by her husband from India, where she has been receiving treatment. Total liberalization of the communication sector will bounce back in view of the sentimental attachment to it by Nigerians. The need for the players of the industry to still put their acts together to consolidate on the previous efforts has therefore become imperative. That popular saying that necessity is the mother of invention is beginning to have effect on Nigeria for good. Reporting from Dubai. Hello, I am Ruben Okala. I have not retired. I am refiring at KAFTAN TV. And as you see on KAFTAN TV, get back to work.
And good to have you back again. And we're still on this discussion on emergency services, emergency things that are needed to help people have their lives saved and protected in this country, emergency management. It seems to have become a hard nut to crack in Nigeria. Someone has come to help and so see that that crack that hard nut will eventually be cracked. Talking about Sherry Mohammed, with that organization that I mentioned earlier, I said Quest Ride. They have something put together. Talk about security, talk about emergency services. These two things put together reminds me of the thing that has happened. We'll ask her to talk about it, but remember, when this service will eventually work and become effective, it will not just only be ordinarily like the normal people who go take their rides and move around. It could be, it's really effectively going to be an emergency security service too, kind of. Because I remember people that lost their lives recently in Benue State, as we were talking about, discussing with them. If they had received enough emergency help, all these lives wouldn't have been gone. What do you think, Cherry?
I'm not familiar with Benue State,
yes.
but I did hear about it on the news, that 200 people in a village were massacred.
Yeah, and even Kogi State, I think. That was the last one was the one in Kogi. Yes. Oh, sorry, Kwara State. Kwara State, yes.
And is that, it's just kind of, it's a culture shock for me.
Yes.
Because again, me being from America, it's just, it's unheard of. But I know Africa is a whole different mindset, a whole different continent, and different things happen, different things go on, but that's still not acceptable. In this day and age, for 200 people, men, women, and children to be just taken out, for what?
It's quite a pity that it had to happen to them. Just as you said, it's not normal for you to hear such things in America, of all places, as well as developed places. But here, since 2014, when we first heard of the bombing that started the story of all this Boko Haram stuff and all the other kidnapping and all put together of Saturday 2014. Since then, it's been one thing or the other, one loss or the other, even in such a painful situations like a situation like what you have, yes, like what you have talking about this. Some time ago, it was in the church that people were worshippers in the church, and these evil-hearted fellows went to the church to kill and to eliminate many too. That was in Owo, in Ondo State, which is
Ondo?
Yeah, Ondo State.
Yes, Ondo State.
Wow.
You know, yes, and it's just recently that we've seen someone that they said that he had been part of those people who did that. You know, because the police had gone on with the investigation. But then loss of life is loss of life. They are good. The people that are gone are gone. Nothing can get them back. So we hope we will not find such situations any longer in our country. That's what we pray for. But then if we do not put certain measures in place, such things will still keep happening. And these are security measures in such a manner like this one you're talking about this now. If someone has that like those in the church, and it happens, and someone will just press the button, it will trigger it, and it will get to your base.
It will trigger it, but
yes.
again, everybody has to be on board.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So now you now get the police, get the whoever, the military involved to say, this is what's happening here. Can something happen? The ambulance, let's go there.
The police have to want to go and help. You know, whoever is called for help has to want to go and
do
help.
it. So the desire to help, the desire to be effectively useful when you talk about emergency is important.
And get there expeditiously, knowing that there's lives, because every moment counts when there's a life involved. You know, 15 minutes can make a difference between life and death in some situations.
That's correct. Well, when your services are to help this, I think everybody should welcome it. Everybody should embrace it.
Yeah.
And
it's a mindset thing.
I think that sometimes we need government to look towards the welfare of each citizen, especially most of those security agencies. Why is it that some of these things is happening in Nigeria? Because of poor welfare, wages is very poor. For example, as a police officer, you had that kind of a call, you approach your kidnapper and you are being shot. At the end of the day, what would be the family, you know,
what the family will get?
The family will get
for the loss of the breadwinner.
Yes. Number one, there's no provision for an insurance for those people. I always talk about insurance because I know it's one of the things that help a lot. The government is supposed to be having those kind of policy put on ground. Once you have that kind of a job as a police officer, you have a life insurance. Your take home should be coming on time. For example, there are some police officers who have retired for a very long time. Now they have not gotten their pension. Some the family, they are there suffering. So those are things that when you look back, you see that they don't put more efforts in their job. So I think that the government should keep putting effort to see how we're going to rehabilitate the security agency. It's going to go a long way.
Well, the rehabilitation of the security agency is important, and apart from that, even like when we talk about this, the riders and all that, what incentives do they have? I hope there are incentives that you are bringing to the table.
For sure.
Yeah. We want to be here, and we don't just want to talk the talk. We want to walk the walk. So we're offering. We're starting out, as Bonnie mentioned, at 5% commission, but we promise never to go above 15%. 15% is our cutoff. we're going to have higher base fares for the drivers. They're going to be able to have instant withdrawals from their account, from their wallets. We're going to give fuel cash back and discounts. We're going to help high-performing drivers with fuel. And again, we have the panic button, the SOS panic button for the drivers and the riders. Let me see. We're going to have the drivers be able to have an input on what goes on, like voting rights, basically. I know with the strike, that was one of their major complaints, is that they have no input on anything.
No face-to-face interaction.
And this is they take this job very seriously, very
because that's
seriously.
about all that they do. And to take
Very
care of the
seriously. So we're going to have mechanic. We're also going to have discounts. We're going to work with mechanic shops so that the drivers can get their cars repaired at a lesser price. We're going to have legal and emergency support, real cash referrals, and the medical and life insurance. So yeah, we.
It's so good to think about these things and to know that all these are there for us and all these are there for those who get involved. And definitely, I believe that with government involvement, a lot more of these will be seized and perfected. But as you are going on with it, I want to encourage you to continue, because this is one thing that can happen to help lives and safeguard lives of people in the country. We don't want to keep losing our people unnecessarily. We need to ensure that they are taken care of in every shape, in every way. Like all those fellows now, because I gathered that after the strike action, that was a 3-day event or affair, some of them were laid off.
Yeah, they were blocked.
They were blocked, yes. That's really, I'm just being very blunt.
For daring to ask questions.
Yes,
they were a lot of them were blocked.
Yeah, they were blocked, and so they won't be able to continue with that business any longer. And so they've been put out of work, yes, and be returned to the employment market. Yeah. Well, I think it's good for Quest.
That is why we are here to give them the solution.
And see, it has happened at the time of this introduction.
Yes.
And so it will also go a long way in helping that the services will be expanded on its own.
Yeah, that's
because
what we
many more
hope.
fellows will get to hear about it this time, and those who have left, those other ones, will be able to testify of the beauty of what they have seen.
Yes.
So that by the time they start effectively, that there is not much to talk about, because the publicity they will bring will go far and wide to enable you achieve a lot more.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing I know about that it will happen. Publicity does a lot of work, and whether it's positive or negative, anyhow it goes, it does a lot of work.
It does.
That's why bad press is not good for a lot of people. But then good press brings people to come and to be part of what goes on. And so we talk here, let it be that it will also help our people, that they will get involved. Oh well, we're doing a kind of an abridged form, because on the program today, we would have had someone else also who would be part of what goes on, talking about someone that happens to be a toxicologist. He should have been part of this program this day, but we've just gathered that he is not there, and so we've gone on. And the toxicologist is Dr. Garba Umar, who would have been with us to talk about these things that have to do with it. These days now we're seeing a lot of snake bite stories, and all that. It would have helped us to know how to handle that. And then, but since he's not there, we'll just let it be. All the same, like the girl that was bitten by the snake, she said her own neighbor or her landlord, or I don't know whether it was neighbor or landlord, couldn't take her to the hospital, so she had to go herself. She had to look for a ride, which is to go. And when they got to the first hospital, she didn't receive the treatment that was supposed to be received. She had to come back home again to plan for a second ride, to go somewhere else where they'll be able to give her the anti-venom.
Anti-venom.
Yes, and she didn't have it, because if she had had it, this young lady would still have been alive today. But because of the fact that the anti-venom was not given, she had to, her life was lost as a result of this. Because by the time they finished all that they did, before they could get to the hospital where she would get the medicine, they said she was gone. Then it brings us again to emergency management. Getting to have the anti-venom in every health center. I'm not even talking about every hospital.
Especially in the capital of Nigeria.
We should have it.
There should be anti-venom.
Yes, there should be. I mean, we don't need to run too far away before you get it. That's why I said every health center. There should be health centers everywhere where people can even go for such things. So again, when someone is bitten by the dog that has rabies, so anti-rabies will also become a problem. You know, these are not supposed to be the things that should be problems for us. You know, when it happens, rush to the health center and get the injection so as to save lives.
Yes, absolutely. And she was an up-and-coming celebrity.
Artist,
beautiful voice.
Yes.
If you hear her sing, it's like an angel.
And now that life is gone. I think the funeral was done a few days ago. I saw a bit of it, and I was saying, how would it be that we will stay and let these things be happening when we are in such a country that is this big, that I'm blessed, you know, big and blessed, yes. Incidentally, how can we be the ones to lose these precious lives just for no serious reason? For no serious reason. As far as I know, these are very if you give it as an excuse, it's flimsy. These are flimsy excuses for life to be lost.
It really is.
You know, for lives to be lost. Like in actual fact, we should even have these the anti-venom, anti-snake venom and all that. Even in, as far as I know, even in these places we refer to as medicine stores, you know, pharmacies around.
Pharmacies, they're
that
everywhere.
you don't need to run to. There are pharmacies almost everywhere.
Every street.
Yes, you should. If it happens, you just run to the pharmacy and get the thing.
And in all of Nigeria, this is the capital.
This is the capital. I mean, for all of this country, but even this is the capital. We should have it. But we're not seeing it.
Why? It's like, why? What's the reason? Why was there not any anti-venom? It's logical. What logical reason?
And there has not been any reason. I think I heard some time ago that the person in charge of the health sector in the FCD also said it's okay that it is everywhere, that it is in government centers. So maybe that the girl didn't get to the government sector. Must it just be with the government? Why not let the other people have it too? Not only is it that it should be made available to everybody, but it should also be free so that it will be easily administered, so that lives could be saved. Problem is, some people don't seem to understand the importance of other people's lives. Just as you said, you were imagining, what if it were your brother, your sister, your mother, your friend,
your child,
your child, how would it be? You know, and that triggered this zeal to come to help for you. I want to thank you so much, Sudi, for doing that. It's a serious matter as far as life is concerned. We need to understand that these things are not things that should be that difficult to happen. Some people will say it's not rocket science. Getting to have these things around us should not be rocket science.
True.
It should be very easy.
It's not difficult. It's just to put better structures.
Yes, and take effective decisions.
Take effective decisions. It's not a difficult thing as you say.
This puts a question mark on the Ministry of Health, the services of the Ministry of Health in the country. Because when we talk about this, awareness has to be there. Apart from that, we're talking about security. What about the health sector? What effort have you made so that this thing will not happen again? Because before you know it now, another one will be told another one has happened somewhere else. And again, there will be an explanation that will explain it away.
Right.
It's just putting the rightful people in those positions. That is what Nigeria really needs. Is that because most of these things we have, it's not as if you check critically, the government is not making those provisions. It's just that for them to execute those policy is always our problem.
Beautiful policy.
There's always a budget on those things every year.
Yeah.
So what is the budget? Those people who the government handle those responsibilities for them. Those are our problem we are facing in Nigeria. And we believe that by the time we start getting rightful people in authority, some of these things will stop, and we'll get the solution we are looking for.
Well, that's it. We would have really loved to start getting calls and all that, but well, we'll just try to see if anyone would want to make a call. Please place a phone number there for us to look at. Whoever that would want to call, please do so before we conclude this program, because we're about rounding off. We want to hope that someone will be touched to call and share his or her own thoughts over what has been happening in the country concerning these things we've talked about, especially emergency management. You've looked at it on the roads, how much, thank God anyway, I want to say thank God for the Federal Road Safety Commission that has done a lot on the roads these days to ensure that there are less accidents on the way. They just concluded a program that is called Operation Zero, or Zero Operation, you know, so that let it be that there is no death, no accident on the roads at all. That was for the Christmas, and it ended in January. It just ended. So they did some work to ensure that you don't just get to have these casualties. And please, Federal Road Safety, I had the Chief Education Officer, the man that's in charge of talking to people, telling people about all these things. He was here on this program with me also, and we talked about it. And then looking at it, saying that there is need for people to be aware of so many things that happen even in our lives as we do the work we do. There is need for all of these, and we keep sharing these things and talking about them. When you have effective, perfect information that is disseminated, then the difference is made. They have done a lot, and they are still doing it. Federal Road Safety will be 38 years this year, and it has done a whole lot. You know, so we looked at it, talking about Operation Zero and other projects that they had. I hadn't heard of that. We had awesome. The Public Education Officer. You know, he was here with us, and he did a lot of great education, educating people about the services and what they expect even in the future. So I think you will need to link up with all these so that they will all get to know what you're doing, so that you can put it all together.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, with God's help, you know, it's possible we can do it. Yes. With God's help.
Yes, yes. Well, the phone number is there already, in case you want to call 0802 99 38365. I hope I got it well. That's the number. But we'll just wait for a while to see whether there will be anyone that will want to make an input to the program from home. I mean, we always say that we have people who, our programs are not just for people who are in the studio, but those who are at home too. They make or watching from the office or wherever. You can always make your input as you call, and we'll share with you. And so she's talking about this emergency management thing. You see that the road safety has got a lot that he has put in place. They have their ambulances, they have their vehicles, they have them everywhere along the expressways and all that. Was the aim to ensure that there will be no such casualties. But if by any means such a thing happens, they will be able to handle and make sure that lives are saved.
Yes.
That's about the most important thing. That's about the most important thing. Saving lives, keeping things together so that we'll have what we ought to have in our country. Again, please, Nigeria and those in authority in Nigeria, we call for your help. We call for you to look at what you're doing and see these ones that they refer to as simple things. They need to be handled as well, not just only the big things. Let these other simple things also happen, because that way our country could be made better, put together, and so that we'll have the best that we ought to. After all, we've been referred to as giants of Africa. Have you heard that?
Yes, I have.
You've heard, okay.
Have.
And
And once Nigeria gets it together, it'll spread.
Then the entire continent will begin to get it together.
Yes.
That's it. So we need to do that. And then for those who, like the police that said they lacked the fuel, and the landlord of this young lady that was eaten by the snake lacked fuel and all that. Thank God that the price of fuel is still coming down now. And we thank God that Dangote Industries is also helping to make sure that that fuel will be distributed everywhere, and the price brought to something that could be easy for everyone to have.
That's great.
Because the availability and the reduction in cost would also help in achieving this emergency management.
You got to start from the small things.
Yes.
The small things matter.
When they are put in place effectively, they will help that whatever anyone wants to do, they will find reason to do it and do it well.
Yes.
Oh, well, this is how far we've gone for now, and we want to again say thank you for the effort you've made to be here today on the program. Want to thank you for coming and for effectively bringing forth this great idea to see that this nation is salvaged from the hands of things that we want to destroy the people. Because when there is this salvation, then there is better life for us in the country.
Yes, and thank you so much for having us.
Sherry, it's been great sharing the moments with you, Sherry.
Thank you so much for having us and letting us, have a voice.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
We always welcome you in this station to come and let's share it together.
Anytime.
And that's been Sherry Mohammed. Thank you. And we also have, and of course, let me not forget that I have given Sherry a Nigerian name, Ngozi. An Igbo name for that matter, which is a
I receive it.
Yes,
I receive it.
Thank you so much. Ngozi is blessing. She is the blessing that God has brought forth to us so that we'll get better in this country. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
And Boniface Abuon, thank you for coming. It's a pleasure knowing that you are here and you have come to also join to see that we'll achieve better results in this nation of ours as we are living. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. And before we go, I would like to plead that the viewers outside there go out there, go to Play Store and download Quest.
Yes.
Quest Ride is there for you.
Quest Ride.
Yes, it's one of the latest indigenous app, rideshare app in Nigeria. Okay. The developer is from Nigeria. Yes. The owner of the app is also in Nigeria. Yes. So we feed the Nigeria pains. Okay. So our fare is very affordable. So go out there, download Quest Ride at Apple Play Store and also at Android Play Store.
And the first two rides are free.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. And let me also say that that George Basiopo, George is around.
Yes.
George is a development strategist with Quest as well. George, good to know that you are around here and you've been part of what has been going on. Thank you too. On behalf of everyone, not forgetting the workers, fellows with whom I've worked today, talking about the fact that I've had Divine Dabrilaya. I've also had Joseph Ochedeku. I also have had Samuel. I'm talking about Samuel Omaji, the big Sam. I've had you. I'm grateful for all that you've done. Let me not forget to say thanks to Habib Okunola, as well as the other fellow with him that has worked with me. Thank you so much. That is the fact that as we work, the names keep coming, and so we keep using. So thank you all. Gani, thank you so much. And thanks to the head of station, Ruben Okala. Thank you so much for all. Let me not forget Victor Chizea, also Felix Akinjabola. There are many of us really. It's just that I'm the one you see. And we all work together to ensure that the best comes even to you as you are part of it. Harriet Chibuze also is part of this because he helps us get some of the facts that we use on the program today. This is how we'll round it off. Thank you, dear viewer. Thank you for everything. on behalf of all, okay, Chukwuanubogu here, and what have I got to say? May the very best happen to us all the time.
Thank you.
BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you all to keep watching KAFTAN TV.
Please keep watching KAFTAN TV. It is the best civil station in the country. They're doing an amazing job. Please do not touch the dial. Keep watching. Thank you.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes